everyone, and welcome to episode number 29. This episode, I'm going to talk about how I study. We're going to mainly talk about how I study for ortho, which I'm sure most of you who are following these vlogs are into outpatient orthopedic. I think I'm an ortho person. Anyway, so we're going to go over how I study for ortho and also what we're doing for neuro rehab. So right now with neuro rehab, let me show you. So this is the Notability app. I don't know if you guys know how to use this, but APU is basically all iPad. So we do everything on here. These are all the classes that I've taken: anatomy, clinical skills, anatomy, research, wellness, cardiopulm, neuroscience, general medicine. And so now we're in neuro rehab, and I'm going over spinal cord injury review. Someone had a lesion at the level of C1 to C3. The bed mobility would be total assist, transverse total assist. Wheelchair would be independent driving using head, blah, blah, blah. And then I just learned that the level of C1 to C3 is the same as level of C4. Why is it not different? I have no idea. This app is pretty cool because, you can like draw on anything. So let's say we had our ortho class and I went to the elbow. You see someone with bursitis and then you see something like that. But it's cool because with this app you could draw on things, you could erase it, you could highlight things if needed, and then you could copy things, drag it across. It's a pretty cool app. So I think that a lot of educational systems are going to go and into the iPad in the future, so I would invest in Notability right now. Okay, so we're gonna move on to ortho. Right now we're covering the elbow, so we're gonna use the elbow app. Okay, so right now this is my setup, guys. I have an external monitor, a computer, and then I have my iPad. Boom, awesome setup, right? Okay, anyway, so on a collateral ligament sprain, I'm looking at all these different signs and symptoms, what I'm going to do for special tests. This is basically the PDF version of the Ortho Pocket Handbook. And then I go onto my computer and I write down the specific signs and symptoms, the impairments, and some things I can do to rule in, rule out for all the collateral ligament. So these apps are really cool. Personally, I think apps are going to be the future of all student learning. We're definitely ahead of the curve. But instead of using our textbooks and referring to a projector all the time, we have apps that show everything. So in class, we were able to go through this app and it showed videos and it showed how to do things. It was really organized and super cool to just have everything just compiled right there, It's so organized in a way where it's like, okay, I know, so this is whatever diagnoses, I know this is what the signs and symptoms are gonna be. Boom, they show you and listed out what it's gonna be. And then you have your physical exam of what you're gonna do, and then it shows what you're gonna do. And then you have your treatment, and it's just organized in a way where there is categories, and it just kind of brings clarity, a moment of clarity, or a strategy of clarity, because I think with ortho there's so many different tests, there's so many different signs and symptoms. It's so easy to kind of mix things around and you forget the degrees and everything. So these apps basically give you an opportunity, or just like they hand it to you in a silver platter and say, here, these are the exact things that you're gonna need to see, you're gonna need to test, and you're gonna need to treat. It's so simple. Anyway, if you liked what you saw in this episode, just like my setup of my studying, how I study, how I use the apps, what I do as a student of physical therapy, feel free to give me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you.
I would do that first. So you're feeling and you're like, oh, I think you have a tension headache. So on the app, it shows specific trigger points. I would find the trigger point and I would like I said, hold it, see if it reproduces my pain. If it's a tension headache, it most likely will.
Okay.
And then you already you already like stretched the muscle, and you noticed that was fine.
check joint
My
play.
like you would want to assess active versus passive as well, which
In
you
terms
already
of-
did, like
okay.
tension headache,
Gotcha,
which
gotcha.
you did, and then
Much
you
more
would
better when you're passive.
yeah, and you could do MMTs also.
Okay.